Entrepreneurially Thinking is a presentation of BioSTL and CET, Center for Emerging Technologies, with Rare Gem Productions, changing the way you view new ventures, including you on the pathway to success with your business in the St. Louis marketplace and beyond. Here's your hosts, Cheryl and Christy. Now let's get thinking entrepreneurially.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurially Thinking podcast. Our goal is to energize your entrepreneurial mindset and create pathways for business success in the St. Louis marketplace and beyond. I'm Christy Maxfield.
And I'm Dr. Cheryl Watkins-Moore with BioSTL. Hey, Christy girl.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Excellent. Well, I feel like we are in the annual fall race to everything entrepreneurial because October hits and then the calendar blows up.
Everybody is putting on programming.
So we are excited that our friends can continue to make time to spend with us on the podcast, tell us what they're doing, and get us jazzed for everything else that's going on.
Absolutely.
And we're really glad that all our friends can continue to play and download, subscribe to Entrepreneurially Thinking. If you're not already subscribed, you can find us on iTunes or anywhere you find your favorite podcasts. If you are subscribed and you're loving what you hear, please share, spread the word. We're hoping to inspire as many people as possible. And we're well over 12,000 plays and downloads.
Yay! And that's all thanks to you guys out there listening. Thanks so much.
So as we get you rocking and rolling and excited about what you're working on, we hope you'll help us get other people excited too.
Yes, spread the word.
So, who's with us today?
So today, we are bringing you a guest we had on several seasons ago. I can actually say that.
I know, which is like almost a full year.
Oh my gosh.
So, and he's been busy.
Oh, God. We are going to have a great time today. Jared Arms, founder and CEO of Kyler.io. He is back again. And it's so funny. I ran into Jared recently out and about at one of our incubators.
He's been spending more time here at CET. I've been excited
about that. That's how we ran into each other, actually, which is interesting. And he was starting to tell me about all the wonderful things happening to him and his company. And I told him, I said, stop. Don't tell me anything else because I want to bring you back here on the show. Christy and I were like, oh my God, of course, we've got to update our listeners so they can share in your progress and good news.
Well, and after this, follow him on social and you'll see all the things we're talking about.
Yes.
It's hard to keep up.
But just as a reminder, when we first chatted with Jared on the show, we learned about his background and how his mother, who sacrificed food and rent to buy him a computer at the age of 5, really set him on his path to technological success. In his teen years, after seeing so many of his friends being killed, he used his interests and technological gift to develop a web-based way for folks to memorialize the dearly departed. In his 20s, Jared then went on to create and launch his company, Kyler.io, after identifying untapped problems within underserved communities and providing tech-based solutions. So Jared and his company have been recognized as one of Android's top app developers. In 2014, now you would think I'd be talking about a man that's like 60 years old.
Right, we're still in his 20s.
We're still in his 20s, right? So in 2014, Jared launched Kyler for Kids. And this was an opportunity to provide the best summer tech experience for children, instilling enthusiasm in STEM learning, while all the while sparking their interest in related careers. To date, over 3,000 students have benefited from this great program.
So most people wait till their company is right. I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years
before
old.
They start giving back.
I have some time to give back.
Yeah, I don't know when you sleep.
Jared.
Okay.
Not Jared. Jared's got it all going on all at the same time.
So when we come back, we're going to learn more about what Jared has been up to recently and all of the great things happening to Kyler. We will also be speaking with Freddie Mosley from Lincoln Middle School, and he'll give us insights into the impact that the Kyler for Kids program is having with his students. So stay listening.
Now here's Make It Happen with Keith Sales Pro.
According to leadership advisor Lee Colin, here's 4 things every leader should know. Number 1, the entrepreneur says the next deal is king, while the leader says the customer is king. 2, saying yes to one thing may mean saying no to something else. Measure what matters, then manage what you measure. 3. A blurred vision yields diffused efforts. And finally, 4. Growth comes when you get off the treadmill of working in the business and step into the eagle's nest to work on the business. Today, remember, it can happen. It will happen. And together, we will make it happen.
Follow Keith Sales Pro on Facebook or Twitter at Keith Sales Pro, or visit his website at keithsalespro.com.
It can happen. It will happen. And together, we will make it happen.
My name's Jared Arms. I'm the founder and CEO at Kyler.io, and entrepreneurially thinking to me means just do to people what you would want people to do to you, and negative energy is positive energy in reverse.
Jared and Freddie, thank you so much for making time to be with us. I know that you're busy teaching your students. You're busy changing the world. Right. And making time to spend with us is truly a gift for us and our listeners. So, Jared, we gave folks a bit of a primer again on who you are and where you're at, but you've been doing a whole lot of things. So in your own words, what have you been up to?
She's going right for it.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, what have you been up to?
Yeah. And thank you, ladies, for having us again. So recently, we just wrapped up our summer program at the beginning of August.
And this is the Kyler for Kids program, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we just in the process of getting our fall program started. We'll be launching that next Saturday with Flow Valley College, and we'll be just banging that out, trying to hit 100 students just before January start for this next expansion plan with Ohio.
Wow.
So that's like
Ohio.
That's what I've been doing just the last maybe 2.5 months, just getting everything ready for this fall stuff.
Wow.
So wait a minute, let's back this train up.
Okay.
Let's first talk about what is Kyler for Kids. What did you do this summer? And then I want to hear about, are we talking the state of Ohio, the university, or what? So tell us about what is Kyler for Kids and how did you come up with that?
Yeah. It was a few different ways. Seeing young students when I was teaching classes for adults, maybe just keep coming in and out the class.
And what are you teaching? Coding, or what are you teaching?
Yeah, so we started off just doing Android development in 2014, but now we have public speaking, dress for success, online safety, keyboard and databases, so it kind of expanded. And we got them all listed on our website.
Okay.
But yeah, mainly Android development and web design.
Wow.
So this summer we taught students 6 through 14 how to build websites, and then an introduction to HTML. And it was pretty good.
That's wild. So where did you host that program?
So we had a few partners. Venture Cafe was one of them. OPO Startups, Flow Valley.
St. Louis Community College.
St. Louis Community College, Florissant Valley, and St. Charles Community College, and Elite Scholar STEAM Academy in East St. Louis.
Wow. So how many kids did you have going through the program?
This summer I think we hit like 250, so it was good.
So you are partnering with, I'm sorry, I'm taking over the whole thing.
No, I was just going to say, and so does that lead you to a partnership with Freddie?
Oh, yeah, and that part came about once we returned back from LA last year, and then it's like a huge continuation on from that, so he could dive more into that.
Okay, so he came back from LA, making magic there.
And actually, Jared had sent me a
LinkedIn.
Yeah, invite on LinkedIn. And I'm like, I don't know this gentleman. So probably after a month or two, I said, let me click on here and see. And I seen him with a broadcast on one of the news stations. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is a young man doing some great things here with the kids.
And that's a lesson in LinkedIn, because the purpose for LinkedIn, even if you don't know them, click to connect with them, because it's about networking and connecting. So yes. That's cool. So you connected?
Once I saw that, actually I am an education counselor with a TRIO talent search program. And we look for different professionals to talk with our students to give them some insight on different careers and things that they can partake in, and just to broaden their view, especially with underprivileged students. So I clicked on there, and I seen these things that he was doing, and I'm like, let me give him a call. So when I called, I wasn't expecting to get him. I was expecting to get his secretary or something. And he answered the phone, and I'm like, okay, can I speak to Mr. Jared Arms? And he said, yeah, this is he. I said, oh, wow. I said, okay. I'm talking to the man now.
He answers his own phone.
Yes.
At least for a little while more.
Right.
Yes. And I said, man, the things I see you're doing, you know, I said, we have a interest and initiative of getting some STEM projects going for students where I'm at. I said, would you mind coming speaking to them, you know, to get them engaged in that topic? And he was like, sure. He's like, but I'm out in L.A. right now. You know, I'm doing startup grind with Google and this and that.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that because that's a whole different conversation.
Yes. And I was impressed when he said that. He was like, hey, I tell you what, check me out on Facebook. I'm live here. And I went on there and said, okay. So when he got back, he gave me a buzz. He said, hey, let's hook up for dinner or lunch or whatnot, and we can discuss, you know, the things that you have in mind that you would like for me to do. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is going good. This is going good. You know, I don't have to pull. Yes, I don't have to pull any teeth to get the gentleman out. You know. So when we met, we talked. He's like, yeah, I'm doing this and that. And I said, you know what? You're going to have to come out to Lincoln, you know, and talk with the students there. And he did. It was not a problem or anything. We set it up and got him out there, and we had probably about 50 students who participated when he came out.
Lincoln Middle School, so this is a middle school.
It is. It is.
Where you guys, is it in St. Louis or East St. Louis?
It's in East St. Louis.
Okay.
Yes. So the program that I work for, we look for students who show interest in going to post-secondary school.
Okay.
So we try to recruit them early on and follow them all the way up to their senior year and help them get into whatever post-secondary, you know, school.
So just doesn't drop off at the end of middle school.
No, it does not.
That's great.
That's a crucial time.
Yes. So he came out, we spoke, showed them a little bit of some HTML and coding and things that they could possibly do and expand their mind. So it got the students really interested, as well as some of the science and math teachers. So he has some connects with them now, you know. And so
it's showing applications of science and math in real time using using technology, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Put it in a platform where the students can relate to Facebook and all of the new
Snapchat.
Yes.
And who doesn't want to build their own website?
Exactly. And these kids are they're very much in tune with social media. And how are they using these websites? I mean, that you're showing them how to build. Are they using it to start their companies or interfacing more on social media or what?
Yeah. So with these classes that we done this past summer, it was in conjunction with this company called Joe's Pizza. And it actually is a real company in Illinois, but I just made it up for the demo until he was like, I got a lot of visitors starting to come. What's going on at this College for Kids program? I'm like, hold up, let's talk. So that was an example to show them how they can go out, find local businesses, and kind of revamp the website for local companies using Joe's Pizza business.
Wow.
So that was like an example. Last year, we were just doing more HTML. 2014, it was like Android development. So I try to switch it up each summer. But yeah, so
that's very cool. So you're taking its real impact on real businesses.
Oh yeah,
that they can come back and probably maybe that's a job for them, right?
So we teach, like, we had a lot of 6-year-olds this summer. So we was teaching them how to integrate like the Google Maps inside of it, so people could find Joe's Pizza, integrating PayPal's buttons and all of that stuff, so they can get payments. So just stuff like that. But then making them think how to use this for their business and things like that as they get older.
And yet that's been a theme for you of really, connecting what's happening in your world. We talked about how you got started with doing the memorials online. That was taking things happening in your world every day, and then technology was a way to live into doing what you wanted to do. And that, I see that theme continuing through as you're working with the kids, making it really super relevant to them. Yeah. And that seems to have a huge impact on their ability to learn. And I would imagine, Freddie, the level of engagement that you're seeing?
Yes, it does. I was intrigued with the fact that he wanted to give back, and the skills that he has gives these underprivileged students insight and a motivation and desire to notice and do things that they possibly didn't think they could do at one time. So it's definitely encouragement to them, and that's what really drew me to him.
Well, I
with
think
what he's
that
doing.
we have to have more Jareds, because having people that look like the kids that we're talking to,
That's right.
and maybe having similar paths as they're growing up. Jared, I know you can speak to these kids in ways that I couldn't, because I'm a woman. Christy couldn't, so you probably are touching them in various ways that probably other people couldn't.
Yeah, I recently had got what's the word? I guess just pulled over by a few cops out in O'Fallon, and it's like after I left my developers meet up at Venture Cafe that same night. So I'm grabbing something to eat. It's about 11 o'clock, and they pulled me over, and I was on the phone with an officer for this community corrections program we about to launch.
Really?
Yeah. So they flagged me over just on some like profiling stuff. One cop, then he called like 3 more. So they just,
oh my goodness,
it was just like a little nerve wracking situation. But the way I turned it into a positive situation was just asking them, can I make this into a positive situation, and just showing them content from me speaking at the Galleria inside the Microsoft store this past July with at the nonviolent video game tournament with students 15 through 25 young black males in conjunction with white police officers to add more value in the community. So I'm showing them the pictures of that, because they like, where's the you got dreads and everything, like where's the kilos and all of this, and I'm like what? So he was saying a lot of stuff to provoke me, kind of make me tremble on my words a little bit, but when I was saying stuff to him, I made him smile, and we built a good relationship. So even just outside of our culture and people like that, I think going just to different groups of networks, being able to kind of reverse that negative energy into a more positive situation is like life. It can save your life.
It's building bridges.
Yes, save your life.
And that's a great story to tell to many of our kids who might interface negatively with
just
police.
having the presence of mind to even be able to turn it into a positive situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I would love to just talk to those officers for a moment, but that's a whole nother show, right?
I invited them out to come speak and try to just help me in a different way versus thinking about me like that.
That is amazing.
Yeah. He was open to it, so I got,
you're building bridges in different ways, not just in the classroom, but on the street, real time.
Well, and it's about not checking. This isn't about checking a box. I mean, you got plenty to do, right? We were talking about you were doing Startup Grind, and
we haven't even touched on that.
You were in the Microsoft store, and last time I checked, you were closing bazillion-dollar deals left and right with somebody. You've been on Shark Tank. We got some other ground to cover here in just a minute.
How were you in the Microsoft store? How did that come about?
Man, what is that?
He's got to think back, because his worlds are all blended.
Jared, is that where Jeff Lyles?
Yeah. So
the officer Jeff Lyles.
Where did I meet him at? I think I met him at the panel at the activating the STEM pipeline down at Mission St. Louis. And I connected with Jeff there, and he was telling me about the North County Forever program doing something out there. Yeah, and that's how we got connected, and we'll be doing some more stuff too. So it was cool, because to play nonviolent video games with officers, that was real good.
That is very cool.
Then it was like Maryville, Collar.il for kids. It was a few people out there looking to kind of help them. So it's like, as far as the officers, we see you young black men. We playing games, nonviolent video games, to just keep it positive. But once we done playing games, now we looking at you guys connecting with programs such as stuff Maryville, or what we was providing others. So just it was good too, and a lot of students from that program came to our class with St. Charles Community College.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So Startup Grind, how the hell did you get out to LA? What is that about? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that was huge. That was over 4,000 attendees at that event.
Woo!
Well, I have to say a story first.
Okay, please tell us a story.
All right, so 2015, when I relocated to New York, building the application I was talking about for do something called the Report Back Reviewer. That was their inbox app at the time. It was like 4 million users, so security was like at the top of the list. When I was presenting these presentations about the app towards the end of my contract, I was learning that a few of the funders on that project, or people who was giving them grants and stuff, was like Google, Facebook, and things like that. So I got connected with Google. Man, I got connected with them. They reached out to me in New York, Facebook and all that. So just going to different Android developers meetups, just chilling and stuff like that, trying to figure out what I want to do for like the next 10, 15 years.
It's small.
Yeah.
So they was like, of course, if you want to work at Google on the Android team, I'm like, all right, that's cool. So then after a while, I was like, nah, I just want y'all to help me get funded and then build my own stuff.
There you go.
Because they ain't know nothing about this St. Louis stuff I had going. They just thought about to do some stuff. So they was like, all right, this like June 2015. So I returned back to St. Louis like that November, take my grandma to go vote. I was supposedly go back right back to LA, but more stuff got going. So I was told they had moved me from the Android department and had kind of pointed me more to the Google for Entrepreneurs program. They was like, this is what you could be in. Wow. So it's like 75 programs that they powering and funding, and Startup Grind is the top. So I'm looking at the CEO and founder of Startup Grind, Derek Anderson, and the chairman executive of Alphabet, parent company of Google. Now I'm just looking at him do these interviews. I'm like, yeah. So they was hitting me up. A year passed. I'm like, man, that was my time in New York is over with. They still hitting up like, what's up? So then it went from the Google for Entrepreneurs program to the Google Diversity department, and then they were just talking more about how we could help you, like based off your culture, your network, and stuff like that. And like, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, we because when I went to New York, I didn't even think we was gonna be building apps like that. Right. That was just some stuff somebody called me on, and I was like, nah, I don't want to come out to New York. They was like, called me in 2014 October, flew me out there that December for a week. Then I went back in 2015, so it was kind of like I had to do it. But man, they was just like, they say, all right, just keep going hard for a year and then hit us back. So they gave me
Google, right?
Yeah. So they really gave me like 3 months because it was fast. And then January 2016, they hit me up like, all right, in order for us to help you get funded, the best thing that we could do right now is put you in front of these businesses, give you like that forever sponsorship, and then you just good to go. But you got to hustle. I'm like, all right. So they had told us about the Startup Grind thing. So that program is over. They in like 150 countries. They doing events every month. But the annual meetup is like the Startup Grind annual conference. It's huge. Yeah, it's big. And man, it was like 50 companies that got startups that got selected out of thousands of applicants. So it was real hard, and there was a lot of competition. It was like 3 levels of competition we had to go through. It had to be about the team, not just your individual self. And one person, well, it don't matter. One person couldn't make it with it, so it was just 2 of us, but it was good. And man, I didn't know how big that was. I'm still connecting with people from that stuff. And that was a year ago, as it is last month. Yeah, so it was dope. We got a lot of clients. That
is amazing. You got a lot of exposure.
Yeah, that's more. That is great. People from Russia coming. Of course, it's Google stuff. So people from Russia, Africa, all over the states looking to fund minority programs, partnering with just all people. On all levels, down to UCLA to the San Quentin prison, trying to just do all different type of stuff.
See, what I like about you, Jared, is that you are unafraid. You know what? You went out to New York. You know,
see what there is to see.
See what there is to see. Do what you need to do, and that led you to Google in LA. Yeah. And I love the fact that you came back here and took your grandmother to vote. So when we come back, we're going to talk to you about all these other deals that you're going on. I'm really interested in this $50 billion, yes, listeners, $1 billion deal that Kyler has with one of the world's largest fashion houses. So we're going to talk about that when we come back.
Miller Prost, CPAs and Business Advisors, is the proud sponsor of today's Entrepreneurially Thinking podcast, offering a full range of professional tax, audit, accounting, and consulting services. Learn more at millerprost.com. MUELLERPROST.com. Miller Prost, CPAs and Business Advisors, advising with vision.
Hi, my name is Freddie Mosley. I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois. I work for a trio talent search program called College Access. And entrepreneurially thinking to me is the name, being able to generate vision and put it into play.
So, Jared, you've talked about all these different programs. We got Freddie, and he's working with his students in East St. Louis. We know you got your summer programs. You've been LA, New York, all the points in between.
Right.
How do you see it all fitting together? How do you see yourself as a businessman and building the business of Kyler and doing the work with Kyler for Kids and
tying it all together?
Just the opportunities that come along. How do you prioritize all that?
Well, recently I just been going around a lot of nature lately. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, I was kind of on this little money stuff. We always got to have it, but like I've been maturing up a lot. So just trying to just figure out what's my purpose, staying real humble and just taking some good breaks at time and then just going straight in it for like weeks at a time.
So like literally getting out in nature so that you can clear your head.
Yeah, we were just, me and my young students, 18, we were in just the woods, snakes popping out. We jumping and just a big old swarm of fire, dragonflies and stuff, just putting us in a different element and way to think about problem solving. Then coming back to it. But now I'm building a team out too. So I just hired my our first vice president. We got our chief visionary officer based out in LA. Okay. So
Kyler is not all in one location.
No, I think St. Louis is like the 47th city using it. So it's like I think on site it is, but online it's kind of not. Yeah.
Your team is not all located in one city.
Oh no, yeah. So they helping me out. Like we just got some tickets from the NBA to kind of on the floor just to kind of help increase our presence around them to get funded for our nonprofit. We just had New Jersey, Atlanta, and what's the other one? Chicago Police Department. They just reached out to us. So people like that already have like plans and programs and already,
And so that's really on the Kyler for Kids side of the work that you're doing. Yeah.
So it's a lot of people that got stuff going on. We just come in and teach them how to code and stuff. It don't be too hard. And then just using the resources in a smarter way. So like at first I was trying to buy everything myself, but then thinking like, okay, well they got a computer lab, but let me do this. So it just helped save time a lot. But really just using my time wisely, for real, while I'm young and stuff. I thought about that like 2 nights ago. I was just laying down 2 a.m, like, I feel good, my life. I'm like, man, you're 27 years old, man, you're going to be old one day. You got to use this time right. So I was just going harder.
So what's your vision for Kyler?
The business, I guess the for-profit side of the house.
Right.
So I had a meetup with a few people from Worldwide Technology last week, and I honestly can't say what it is no more because after meeting with them, I know it's bigger than what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
So
isn't that exciting?
Yeah,
you think pretty big.
Yeah, it is. It's,
right.
So really, until our meetup last week, I forgot that I wasn't the developer and they wasn't the billionaires. This was God. So it was just it amazes me, and I'm just a lot more patient now to see what He got in store. Just using me as flesh. So I don't have no clue on what's coming up, but it's way bigger than what I thought now.
That's great.
So really, you built this platform where, as a for-profit businessman, you can go in and say, this is what I can do for you. As an app developer, this is my expertise. And then also turn and say, and because of that expertise and my life experience, here's all the other ways that we could impact our community through a lot of programs, like you said, that already exist. Like walking in and working with Freddie and his team, they're already there, but now it's how do we add more power to it by virtue of who you are and what you do. That's really exciting. Yeah. So,
and to know God selected all of us to kind of showcase His talents in the way He meaning the unknown. So I never thought like that my whole life until last week. I'm like, whoa. So
this is with your conversation with Worldwide.
Yeah, and we was all feeling the spirit, so it was good. Like it was good, and we're gonna do a good partnership.
So
with each other.
You guys are partnering now?
Yeah, for sure. So it's way bigger. There's stuff I could talk about, probably apps and websites and stuff like that, but I don't really know no more what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
that must be inspiring for your kids, Freddie, is to see not only is Jared living it, but that he also has enough confidence to also let it go a little and be like, it's bigger than me, and I don't have to control every little piece of it. And if I let go a little bit, like, it gets even bigger.
Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. When I met him, we had a conversation, and I was just telling him, you have value in your life, to be able to provide and do these things for others, like a service. And you're going to have to be mindful of those who you meet, in your circle, because people can do things for you and people can also hurt you. And I told them at some point, I say, with the rate you're going, you're doing so much. I said, you're going to have to find people that you feel you can trust, in your circle, and you're going to have to be able to delegate.
Absolutely. That's the hallmark of a good business person. Yeah. But having the vision and having the connections like you have, talk to us about this $50 billion deal that you got going on, because I'm like
Talk
blown
about
away.
surrounding yourself with people you can trust.
Exactly. This fashion house deal.
Yeah, so that deal, so now we moving into like domains and things like that. So I'll be pushing that real hard. And
tell us what that means. Tell our listeners what that means.
Yeah, so just like a domain for your website, so just your www.com. But the new thing is these GTLDs, fancy name for the domains, top level domains. So that's like the .coms, .edus, .orgs. So they call them premium domains to keep it generic, but the tech term is GTLDs, generic top level domains. Is like 1,200 new ones that just came out since 2012. So like for ours, we have .io, then you have things like .restaurant, .movie, .author. So it's switched up. So I always was reading the history of the just technology. I'm like, man, if I was older when that little .com bubble came out, I knew I would have been rich. I missed that era, so now this is the time for me to take advantage, and it's way better than that little .com stuff. So like the guy who got cars.com, I think he bought it for like 50 or 70 bucks, sold it for like 25 to 50K. They keep the numbers private, but then he flipped that to like a $800 million business, but that was the cars.com. Now they got .suv, .truck, .auto. So now it's just switched up, and you got to know the trademark game. That's what I've been doing a lot, messing up, learning. So getting these internet, turn these pockets right, but it's the investment is worth it, because we about to flip hard with this stuff, and that's some of the stuff we talking with a lot of companies about. So we right now we have maybe I think about 500 of them. We just started like in May, and it was crazy because GoDaddy actually called us telling us about people who was going after their Series A, just didn't acquire their domain yet. So really, yeah, and they were just telling us a business opportunity. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool right here. But so we got a lot of them, and then with that's with this. I know we all heard of companies like Gucci and stuff like that. So one of their parent companies is Balenciaga. Yeah, and we recently just sold GTLD to them. So the way I'm promoting that is because I didn't know how big that company was at first like that. But I'm like, man, I'm like, whoa, snaps. I'm like, this the richest man in France, he owned that, and his net worth 50 bill. So it's like, now that we got that out the way, we sold it to him in August. I was like, can I please talk about how much we sold this for? But I bought it for $10 as far as the domain, and it was just a flip. I was like, we finna stop making apps after this. Like, this too easy, like from the crib and stuff like that. But I learned a lot of stuff because, of course, Balenciaga is a trademark word. Sure. And so it's some new stuff that we doing now, but it's going good. So that's what we talking with these investors with, and we going to eventually be kind of moving into our VR 3D printer, and then where people can like purchase like apparel through our VR shopping mall, and then be able to print the apparel, partnering with people like Gucci, Burberry, and all that. There's a lot of people that we're working with. You're going to be able to print your own pearl.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, with a trademark from something that Kyler is got all the infrastructure for. Right. That's what I took away from that.
This is huge.
I might not got it exactly right, but I'm kind of close, right? Yeah. I'm getting a head nod.
Then one more piece is just like, it's still 3 billion people who aren't connected online. So all of these upcoming entrepreneurs and new online businesses will need their domain. So we're going to be moving into that real hard too. So that's like the new little world that we've been in, the domains. It's pretty good though.
Crazy.
You know, and this is where I think that folks understand that Jared, you know, is a self-made man. You're talking about somebody who had a computer at age 5 and now has a foresight, and I think the ability to look at trends and to understand what is going on and how to capitalize on that. So this is not out of a Harvard MBA, book. This is somebody who knows how to eye trends, how to look at, what's going on in the market, and not being afraid to approach those organizations or those folks and say, look, I got a great solution for you. So if you don't take anything else away from that, that's what I think all of us need to be. And this is what this program is about.
Absolutely.
Looking at innovation and see how it works.
So as you build your empire.
Yes. Because that's what
you're going to need talent. And I would imagine that some of that talent's going to come from places like Lincoln Middle School.
Mm-hmm. Right, Cheryl. And just youth overall. I don't know anywhere else you can go and get free coding classes, you know, especially over the summer. And
can you say that again? Because most of our listeners, you do pay a pretty penny for kids, and Kyler for Kids does not charge. They don't charge anything for this. So
and that was kind of like a motivation to me, you know, and an inspiration to see him doing that. And you know, I wanted to be a part of that. And I told him, I said, that's incredible. And that's why I told him, you have value, man. You know, you can't, we can't let that get away, you know, because you can inspire so many others, which he does.
So you just auditioned for Shark Tank, Mr. Arms. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was good too. So that was, I would say that would be like the start of our trying to seek for funds. So we currently right now trying to raise $10 million. And it's looking pretty good. We got Apple to come on and Merrill Lynch and a lot of cool companies and stuff. So I'm just
you need anybody in marketing?
Yeah.
I
just had to make the marketing budget, so it's good. So that would be good. I'm for real about that. I just had to put the marketing budget like, all right, this for that, so that would be dope. Especially deliver them results. So the Shark Tank stuff, that was just like the start of our pitch. I auditioned for it. You know what I'm saying? I be forgetting who be sending me these emails, but I know I signed up. And I got selected in the audition. We only had 2 minutes, and I was tripping. I had pitched like $500K for like 15%, but it was like people from St. Louis, but then from other states as well. So it was like a lot of country people here, and they just
say a lot of country people?
Yeah, like,
you know, they drove in for the opportunity.
Yeah, like the type of products and stuff that we had
were different.
Little stuff, like, you know. So I'm just like, I'm about to tear it up, but I ain't make the final. So that showed me like how hard I be thinking on stuff. But we about to talk to him again about doing some nationwide stuff. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta call everybody back and tell them it might be all good now.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it was good though. And I had 2 minutes. I was pitching to get the funding for our VR app because next summer we'll be doing 10,000 students in 1 week in like 10 cities with 70 instructors.
And VR is virtual reality.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So we we just gonna need to have that, but it's gonna be bigger. We gonna launch this this trauma therapy program November 14th. And we're going to be focusing on big areas like bullying, suicide prevention, social isolation, custody evaluation. Then we got the College for Veterans and the College for Seniors program. We already got them out, but we're going to push everything hard November 14th. So I think a lot of people, especially young students, going to start, and they licensed clinical social workers. So it's like, got all that stuff good. So when people experiencing the college.io experience, some may use it to shop, some may use it to learn, some may use it to just get therapy and stuff like that. But we're gonna take it to like a whole different level, and it's still like, I think like 160 languages they say that the internet doesn't support. So we gotta get that stuff in order to working with new communities. And I don't know if I told y'all, but like that stuff back in like a few years ago, like Fiji and all this stuff. Did I ever say that with them cannibals?
No, go ahead. Remind us.
So this like 2014, I had this preschool ministry reach out to us that wanted to bring College for Kids out there to redefine the culture because a lot of people in that area was practicing cannibalism, and I was just like, and the contract was huge, but I was like, no, we could do a lot of YouTube videos and digital stuff, but now that I'm partnering with a lot of law enforcement around the country, they're like, we wish we would see somebody act on that. So now I can be able to expand into areas like that. So I think it's gonna be good moving forward. But next summer though, 10,000 kids in 1 week.
10,000 kids in 1 week.
So you are using that Kyler platform and in so many different ways and bringing so much value. And I love the partnerships that you have, from, the guy in France who owns, the line, the $50 billion fashion line, to like what were you just talking about, being able to instruct kids virtually, over great expanses of territory and geography.
So in addition to inspiring kids, what would you say they really, if they've got that inspiration from you, if they, they're Freddie students, they're excited, they're engaged, they're eager to learn, they're part of these 10,000 kids who are going to be part of your program next summer, where should they be focusing their energy on? Like from your point of view, in terms of, if you want to be part of my team as my company grows in the future, where should I channel all that energy?
That's a good question. Well, because it ain't just one word. So I have to,
I know.
I gotta, I would say, Because we still haven't had like an economic revolution yet for like black. So that's like something that I'm trying to push for in the tech game. So it's like starting to think, like, just study the timeline of stuff. Like, I forgot like how you got Black Wall Street, all that. I forgot the titles of each one, but I got them all at home bookmarked. And like right after slavery, and of course before and within, but right after that, it was like they raised like 12 million.
Black Reconstruction.
That's what it's called. Okay, yeah. So I've been hitting them all. That like the 40s to like the mid 90s, and where I'm coming out at, and then like with the generation that now, it's ridiculous. It done switched up. So it's like I think trying to bring that type of way of thinking back, because that's what I'm on, like trying to like get them numbers up. But then it's bigger than that too, so we got to focus on, like, I've been studying oceans. I'm gonna start doing a lot of keynotes on oceans and like Antarctica and stuff like that, just to talk about the importance of global warming. So man, I really don't know. I wouldn't really just say just focus on the code and stuff like that too long, because that's just probably means to make money or something like that. Right. But then
and yeah, I think it inspires them to give them a way out as well. Right. You know, with the employment rate or unemployment rate, you know, it gives them another outlook, you know, and a vision to possibly do some things that they never thought that they would do.
I was going to say, that's what Jared is talking about. It's not just learning the trade of coding. It's how do you take that and apply it to world problems, world issues,
and creating a revolution. Right. You know what I mean? Like, there's one thing to feel like I have personal power. It's another thing to feel like I'm part of something powerful. And I think that, you know, if it's about you know, the middle school kids learning something that's actually going to put money in their pocket, and by having money in your pocket, have enough time and energy then to be able to think even bigger and beyond yourself. That's what Jared is doing. That's Jared, and that's like, how do we crank that out? And I love that, because it's not just, you're not looking out for you, Jared. You're looking out for populations of people, and especially our children, which I really absolutely love. He's writing himself into history. Exactly, and you are thinking big. Like you said, I'm thinking so big, I don't even know what the next step is.
True. And that is what I try to, not preach, but I guess practice.
Preach is all right. Yeah. We like preaching.
Don't learn the code, but just code to learn, in a way. Just a different way to think about it. Because I hate coding. It's just like this is like wasting your life. Just
hey, I probably should learn it just so I could waste my life.
We got like, we doing this for money or to build something. Let's figure out a strategy where we can get a license to print money, since that's what we really trying to get. So it's like, that's
keep your eye on the prize, right?
Yeah. So the type of thinking that I'm on now, that's why I went to that. Well, actually, that's why I then worked hard and got that connection with the state of Ohio. Because the way I'm trying to think about funding is like, I know like first from the federal building, print it, take it to the banks, and then this guy who on that board come to the bank. So it's like, I've been really tracking the funding sources from all my clients in the last 4 or 5 years, and this is the first one where it's just like 3 people back to the print shop.
Oh wow.
So it's like, that's how I'm thinking about the money. Not really like, it's new like ways that we can get it, and in faster ways. And the contract that we about to get in Ohio is way larger than any of these companies that reached out to us, and it's for college for kids versus us just as an employee.
Right.
So I'm glad I ain't shut up, because people like, quit talking about college stuff, go in there, just get the job. But I kept going, and they want to do this for years to come.
Oh, I love it. I always say, you know, quickest path to cash is the one that's going to get you where you need to be and doing it. So I love that. You're 3 people from the print shop. There you go. That's fabulous.
Yeah. And it's legal.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part.
You're not printing the money.
No.
You're going to where the money is coming from and getting access to it.
So as we wrap up, because our time together goes so quickly, Freddie, from your time spent with Jared, what you're seeing in your students and everything, what bit of advice would you give to our listeners and about how to get inspired and stay inspired?
You have to find a way to reach them. And with technology, the tools that Jared is using, he knows how to, what platform to use to get them encouraged, by showing them simple things that they can use that they don't realize in their everyday life. Absolutely. You know. And once you get their attention, then you can go forth with giving them inspiration and inspire them to outlook what they thought they knew or could do, you know. And that makes something beautiful, because it takes you to the next step and the next level. And that's great. That's how you build. It gives them a greater vision.
Yeah, exactly. And leveraging Jared's vision. Oh my God, your vision is so bright, dude. Like they say, I need some sunglasses. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Which I absolutely love that. I love it.
What would your parting thoughts be
Yes.
for the folks who are listening?
Just keep going. I guess we're going to be expanding into Ohio in January. So if you guys want to stay in tune, see what we got going.
Absolutely.
We'll be 500 high school students, 9th through 12th grade. We're going to hire 1,000 of them after we done. And we're going to do an interview on CNN with Van Jones and Yes We Code in June to kick off the stuff in 2018. So when I do the stuff in 2018, I'll be coming back to St. Louis just to chill, but I have 70 people with me this time as instructors. So just right now is the time to get connected so we can do that project moving forward.
And Yes We Can is Van Jones' project.
Yeah, so I got connected.
On CNN.
Seen him in New York. We got connected. It was so crazy. I was sitting down on the computer. I seen him in the lunchroom, seen that head. I said, oh man, I go Van Jones. So let me walk in here and try to see if he see me or something. Walk in the bathroom, he ain't see me. I'm like, oh, I'm in the bathroom with my like 8 Mile stuff. Just like, all right, you gonna come out, you gonna say this, look like this, you gonna have your shoes turned this way. He ain't seeing nothing, but my friend was like, hey Jared, let me introduce you to someone. And one thing, we just chopped it off real hard this 2 years ago though. So he like, yeah man, we gotta work together, want to partner and stuff like that. Give me some time, I got you. And the state of Ohio had paid for a few academies in Youngstown, Ohio, to go to listen to Yes We Code speak. I think in Washington D.C. last year, and they was talking to Yes We Code, talking to Van. How can we partner with you guys in Ohio? Call Jared, College for Kids. I'm like, for real? Dang, I thought he forgot about me. So that's what we're gonna be doing on this one. It's a huge building, 6,000 square feet, and like I said, the state of Ohio cutting the check for everything, so it's good. They got a lot of money, but some of the students, from what I've been told, only eat once, and that's at the high school, so that's why they come. So we gonna really give them some good stuff.
Oh, cool.
So you're bringing your instructors to teach them. You're teaching them everything, and you're feeding them, obviously, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do
feeding mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. So you said if people wanted to stay connected, this is the time to get connected.
Yeah.
So where would they find you?
Yeah.
Really just Facebook, Jared Arms, or LinkedIn, or Twitter. Just follow me. Instagram, all Jared Arms or JArms90, or Kyler.io, our website. You could just go on there and go to the bottom and hit contact, and we'll add you to our mailing list.
And that's
Fabulous.
Kyler, KYLAR.io, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, thank you both, gentlemen, for spending time with us, for making
Yes.
time, and whenever you're in St. Louis, Jared, and you have a few minutes, give us the update, and we'll spread it out to the world, because this is you're doing some incredible work.
Impactful work, and thank you so much for your work, and thank you, Freddie, for working with our children.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, yes.
Great, cool.
Changing the way you view new ventures, igniting your thinking about entrepreneurship. It's entrepreneurially thinking. Get connected and discover more. Visit our website for show notes, resources, information about our guests, upcoming events, and of course, all your favorite episodes. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them for us in the comment sections, and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. The best way to show love is to share. Let everybody know that you're thinking entrepreneurially. So visit our website, entrepreneuriallythinking.com. #ETHINKSTL. Entrepreneurially Thinking is another positive production of Rare Gem Productions. Thanks for listening.